Hello and welcome to Impossible Mission 2 on the Commodore 64, and I reviewed the original Impossible Mission ages ago and gave that 10 out of 10 because I think it's still one of the best games on 64. And well, it took quite a few years for the sequel to finally arrive, and it wasn't actually by the same developers at all. Some developers in Europe actually created this sequel, whereas the original was done by Dennis Caswell out in America. So I think I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think they just ripped the graphics. They didn't actually have access to any of the original material for Impossible Mission. Right. So, but the concept of the game is fairly similar. There's a number of rooms that you've got to enter, and instead of finding pieces of a puzzle, you've got to find two things. You've got to find a lift code, and you've got to find a recording. And I'll explain a bit more. The game takes place in a series of 8 towers. And you can see that if you look at the bottom of the status panel, and there's a little arrow pointing up to a yellow dot, that means we're in that tower. To gain access to the middle tower where Elvin Atombender is, you have to I think you have to have all the recordings to gain access to the lift. So, and each tower has a recording, but you only need 6 recordings, I think. So there's some duplicate recordings. You've got to be very careful. So I'll explain a bit more once we get started. So it's fairly similar to the first game. There's a few more types of robots. You see that the second platform from the top is a white robot. That's a pest bot. They sort of ride the lifts, and they can be quite annoying, hence the name. So just going to search furniture again for see what turns up. I don't know if I'll be able to jump over this guy. Now the sound effects and the speech are all identical. So I guess they just ripped them from Impossible Mission. It's 0, so that's a number for the end of for the tower, the end of tower lift. To exit the tower, you've got to have 3 of the correct numbers. So if you access your computer, go into the number screen, you can see there's 3 colours that you've got to get, 3 numbers you've got to get. I don't have any yet that are relevant. That's a push bot. They're quite annoying. Okay, it's going to be hard to make progress there without a snooze. So like the first game, you can activate snoozes to send robots to sleep. There are some new features. There's mines. You can activate mines, and if a robot goes on top of it, it gets destroyed. There's also bombs. When they go off, you can actually destroy portions of the floor, which is fine as long as there's no furniture where the bomb went. Otherwise, you can't get to the furniture. So you've got to be careful not to hamper your progress. He's not going to back off. Yep, so the speech is the same. Yeah, I could do with a snooze. I quite literally could do with a snooze. I'm a bit tired actually. So apologies if I sound a bit depressed in the video. I'm just a bit tired. So this might be a slightly longer video than usual, just because it takes a while to show you most of the new features. You can also pick up a time, time sort of power up unit, which will either subtract or add minutes to your time. So like the first game, you've got a time limit. It says 7:15 now or 7:16. You've got a time limit, and every time you lose a life, I think it subtracts 6 minutes. Can't remember. So you can actually extend your time. It's a bit of luck whether you don't know whether it's going to subtract or add time. Normally it does add time, to be honest. Graphically, the game doesn't have that sort of crisp look that the first game had. They've tried to make it a bit more colourful, and it works for some screens. I mean, I quite like the overall effect in this screen, but and they've tried to they've added that sort of oblique angle to the. So this is a terminal. So at the top left, you can reset lifts, or you can slide lifts. You can move lifts left. Some platforms you can move left or right. That's a snooze. That's a light bulb. If some rooms are in the dark, you have to activate the light bulb. That's a mine. That's a bomb. You need a bomb to access the safe where the recording is. I don't think I've seen the safe yet. I think I'll activate a snooze. Just made that. Yeah, you see that platform standing on it is sort of, it's got a grey sort of crosshatch pattern on it. That means it's a movable platform. So if I use this red lift icon, it will move the platform. See, it's moved it. I mean, I managed to make the jump without having to do that, but I could have moved the platform to make it easier. So that's definitely an interesting feature. Another feature in the game is you can actually access some rooms from a lift, from below or above the. So you don't have to enter from left or right. Yeah, that's interesting. There's quite a number of interesting additions to the game. Okay, this is a dark level. We need to use the light bulb. Just go around. There are quite a number of new features added to the game. So if we use the light bulb, we can now see what we're doing. But this is definitely the wrong side to enter that room from. One of the problem with a lot of these new features, and okay, the graphics are, I don't think they're better, but there's more of them, more variety. And downside is the fact that the game is a multi-load. It wasn't too bad on cassette. I did have it back in the day, but nevertheless, it does slow the game down a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. Just right. So let's see what I've got now. It will tell you if you've got the right number, which I don't yet. I don't have any of the right numbers yet. That's pathetic. Let's try and search that rope. Nothing. Yeah, so I'm not too keen on the colour of the graphics in this screen here. I mean, purple is just not a great colour, really. Yeah, I'm not quite sure on the graphics. I don't really like the oblique sort of perspective. And I'm not too keen on the colours, so but the definition of all the furniture and the robots is fine. And the animation, of course, from it's the same as the first game, but it's as great as it always was. Okay, this is a lift that we can actually flip between screens on. Yeah, just those two bits of furniture down there. Let's have a look at the codes now. Oh, okay, 3. Yeah, I've still only got one piece of the code. So I don't know if I'm actually going to even find the safe. But once you once you get to the safe, you've got this tape recorder here. Once you've accessed it, you record. It's got a counter on it, so each part of the code is 25 seconds long. So you do is you make sure it's at 25 for the next part of the recording. So it's nothing at the moment, it's just static. I suppose there's a lot of younger people these days probably don't know what a tape is. Then they're probably not going to be watching this video, I'd guess. Oh, this is a tough screen. Yeah, I need to approach from the other side. So hopefully I was going to try and get to the next tower, but don't know. Oh yes, and you can move on platforms while they're in motion, which you couldn't do in the first game. And there are platforms that slide left and right. I just don't think I'm going to get anywhere. I'm playing this version, which has I think it's sort of random which order you play the levels in, but the cassette version was fixed, I think, if I remember. I think this is one of the harder towers. Each tower's got a different theme. This is the gymnasium one, obviously. There's other ones, you know, like food and that sort of thing. Well, there's a safe at the top of the screen. Whether I can actually get to it, I have no idea. It would seem unlikely. I'm a bit out of practice. So this game, it definitely requires a bit more skill at the platform section, I think, than the first game. So what I'll do, I'll activate my bomb. Drop it there. It goes off, the safe is now open. I can do my search, I've got the recording. There's a snooze, that's nice. What I really need to do now is see if I've got enough of the code to go off the level. So that's 3, I know that one. 7, so 7, 3. Done! So now I can exit the level, and I think in the disc version you can go left or right. Nope, Just go right then, okay. But I think the order might be random. I'm not sure. I only had the cassette version back in the day, so not sure. I mean, this might have been cracked from the cassette version, for all I know. I thought you could go left or right. Yeah, this might just be cracked from the cassette version. Yeah, speed up the loading, so we're on to the next level. Which is sort of a laboratory level, I think. And that's pretty much it. You've got to. So we've got the first part of the recording. And what happens is all the rest of the recording are the same tune, but they're in slightly different sound. Different sound to them. So you know, some are more sort of square wave sound. So you've got to make sure you get 6 different recordings. Is it 6 recordings? I can't remember. Anyway, you've got to make sure you've got, I think it's 6 different recordings. And then when you play it, you can get access to the center of the game. And this is where there is a. Well, look at this screen here. This is horrendous. There's a big problem at the end of the game I have where you've got to choose one door, and all the other doors lead to death. So it's one of these. I'm not too keen on it, but one of these. It's just luck whether you can get through or not. So that's Impossible Mission 2 for you. There's certainly a lot more to it than the first game. Personally, I prefer the first game. I think this one it takes too long to play through it. It's not like you can save your progress. It just takes too long to play through the game, I think, and I just think it's as fun as the first game was. But as far as sequels goes, I think it's as good as it could have been. It's different enough to stand out as a game in its own right. And most of the additions are quite decent. You can duck as well, I forgot about that. That's a piss spot. Yeah, most of the additions are quite well done, I think. Mostly worthwhile. There was 1 or 2 additions that I'm not too keen on. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I gave Impossible Mission. I give it 10 out of 10, but I'll give this 9 out of 10. I don't think it's quite as good, but it's still an excellent game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So yeah, 9 out of 10, and see you in the next video.